Na say no.
Yes.
My guy say vampire say nyame boana e papa wa.
Yes.
Me recommend you for judge of the superior courts. Unzo bi ko recommendation na e ko grounds for the removal. But media bi am wo no nyame adom.
O betimi aye.
Metimi aye say recommendation no. Na Obi.
Yes, look.
Mami nchia Dominic.
Ojo.
Na mi nchia Chum. Na o man we nkofo otumi nanso tumi wo studio ha. O show we super.
Eso.
Na show o appear super na o di wiase nyina na e kasa. Enti ma ba yedie. Me mpa e bozu say di ama na ya ache no ebe ma still waka ebi yo no. Na me wie show na ansa na wa
na
bi.
watimi aba.
Na me ntumi enye show no. Na wa me ha me. Na eneye the birthday of ye papa Joseph Kwame Chireche Boachi Dankwa.
Oh, JB Dankwa.
JB was born on the 18th of December 1895 and unfortunately died in prison cells on the 4th of February 1965.
Okay.
Na Osha Abakosema, he was one of the first scholars of mine where produce here, and he was very adept also at writing.
Yes.
Na Obi omaya enkai omwa omudi omunkwantu oma ta oman no eche ansa na sa oman no eyi.
Yes.
Na ade short amekani say time a JB mu scholars no anka no omudwe omuni omumbape ho anka onwu sell. But now our spirit opesa ombuana and liberty every spirit individual ewo oman no mu.
Yes.
Say obenye economically empowered. Now, as a proud member of the New Patriotic Party, no, may you so day way a kaino. Say, be a one in Yankupon Sonomu. Ne a moment friend and singing on Boawon. Na Yesu Christo, no way and Anyakwa. Sana Jebisu, Owe and I and the Ayakwa. Now, PDA, I need JB Corsano. It was a bad law. Obi, Mimi law program, no. After 1 or 2 years, I had to leave because of some other engagement. Yes. But there are bad laws that even law schools teach. They study the origins of the bad law and try to look at the kind of motive that went into the bad law so that the future will not tolerate such processes. Nkrumah had his strengths. Oyobia, Miwa University, those times, shirt with Nkrumah's face on it.
Okay.
So a man must be celebrated for his strengths. But for those parts of a man ain't so admirable, no, we must be honest to say that this part was a shortcoming.
Sure.
Nothing justifies a law that says that based on how you feel, you can put a man in prison. Nothing in the world satisfies that law. Nothing. So any law that puts a Ghanaian in jail based only on feeling and suspicion cannot qualify as a law fit for our books. That's why no law like PDA is in our books today.
Yes.
It doesn't mean Nkrumah was a bad person. But we must be bold as a country and say that never again would we allow a politician, no matter how popular or famous, or no matter how overwhelming his goodwill is, like the way Mohammed's goodwill is today. Never should we allow that politician to get us to a place where we'll say that we love you so much that based on how you feel, determine the man that can go to jail. It should never happen in our lives. And I want to use this day to say that his soul did not perish in vain. Some of us sit here because we believe that it is a good call and a good cause to push an agenda that will make a lot of people better off than to take care of only your family and your friends. And let's be bold to remember him, just as we would remember Nkrumah too when he's on his birthday. Yes. Now, ye politicians, Sankasa, you have a problem. A country that is over 60 years, you have bought political football. So, power. Now, be a JB now, come with 2 ball. No more JB than so power. Now, efforts are here to suppress the order. Why can't we celebrate men for who they are? The only man who lived on this earth, who had no sin, was born without sin, and was pure and perfect, is Christ. So, if you are not talking about Christ, be careful to eulogize a man to the extent where he appears like a spirit. That's the mistake we do as politicians, as fanatics. Me Nkrumah, me a socialist. And to come Nkrumah say ma, obi a ultimate funny nyoko to jail. Court be bunu for. How can you utilize the person to the extent say, Obeka say even jail no cry na yampa? It can never be true. Now, Brasia, I love this definition of humility. I don't remember the source, but he said that, I think Duncan Williams also, he said being humble means believing you are right and at the same time accepting that you could be wrong. Being humble is where you believe based on confidence that you are right, but at the same time do accept that you could be wrong. Let's exhibit humility and be able to support those our heroes, and admit the shortcomings also of our heroes. Now yes, you be in Shira, sa kasa ni say we or you say ni say no, embo bia celebrate the strength of a leader, but admit their shortcomings. Don't amplify their shortcomings. I wouldn't, but I just want to single PDA and not Nkrumah necessarily that it was a bad law, and I'm happy that some of the people who were part of PDA became victims of PDA. Obi, say you are aware.
Yeah.
This world, be careful what you support, especially if it is bad. It can come to haunt you. And may his soul rest in peace.
Yes.
JB Dankwa. May his descendants continue to be strong, and may all who believe in his ideals continue to be strong as well.
Yeah, that's it. Dr. Bernardo Koboy with his introductory comment. Nana abetna say na and untuma edima na daso. Where they akoko se chira kroma enye ne fa na.
Where udomi
Enti Ekosiisen is na high Asempa FM. Okay. Hey, no there. Sure. Presidential staffer guy. Enti Ekosiisen any high Asempa FM na ya chempem jantoa atena se. Sir, and take away the facts say a bad law.
Them as some person just a parliament approve that time then people fought you I didn't come from money. PDA no.
Yes.
Yeah, she PDA.
Yes.
Na UP for no.
Yes.
No more parliament. And no more PDA.
Now, say a bit more no more support it, but majority carried the vote.
That's an ATA be a
CPP money control.
I say near contra. Enyanka or the beba. Near man or mu ye kunkum nipa okroma to etio bodam for ye near mapasasa.
It did not PD and they had the papa.
Yes, it was just to bring some calm. Miss and Mishan, maybe papa is CPP ni. No, you're coming Nkrumah minister. So, cause a PDA ni be calm, and papa say be calm. Yes. Ebe calm.
And now, Kasa said the Okasa.
I make Kasa them make us because to say a principle. What did they mention? Oh, my ministry some come. It's also one person, but me drew her. Mammy Chima Koye. What did they mention?
Yes.
PDA now walking. It was to deal with a certain situation at that time. There was unrest. There was a lot of unrest. So ultimately, you before no at the time. Eye niema bebra na enye. Unim se Kwame Nkrumah kra kwaji loan. Se ene emwa kaka ne Ghana sika so osi akosombu da mom so omompene. History wo ho. History no lie. Inti no mo 10 nipa ani. One more year basabase kunkum nipa, so they needed to put something in place ebe prevent basabasam.
Say upon mere suspicion yet me pick.
Mere suspicion. I don't know JB Dankwa say say mere suspicion.
Na na dey.
Mere suspicion ne dey hin. Dey any mere two fis wan ye hwe kra.
Oye dey.
That will be Sammy. You see, he was part of a certain clique of people.
Okay.
No more Nkrumah.
No person more frustrating.
Yes, frustrating Ghana. Maybe I should say Kwame Nkrumah or no say Kwame Nkrumah never dies. Wawu.
I won't tell you that. How could I say?
Maybe so say wawu ana.
See they say wawu.
Me pese me say wawu.
Yes.
Say wawu so ene da be.
Shehakaka.
Ene ye.
Shehakaka.
What for me can dey the ojeche.
18 December.
19 what?
9 and the 2025.
19 I'm the 19.
Who say now on pen and
one would have
JB Dankwa.
na me say me call by. And then I may be Uncle Farmer.
That would be jail.
Nay, Minia. What was saying Martin Pegboos 5 hours?
Organs now breaking down.
What I say 5 hours. What is that? The Martin come. It be a be lock or up be a lock up, especially me or bar. What did I mention? And me, person make us happy. This is not the time. And me no swam will be a betty moonsem.
No, not doc. Tell me, Tina. And they and the bed or Tiasian can a JB down qua bed.
I come and promise birthday, said your yeah, papa didn't need the crime and chroma birthday. Now, generations after generation, crime and chroma birthday need near Fra Kwame and Chroma, a man of the millennium, near Fra JB down Quasa. Because you see, precedents, any antecedents, dear, it never lies. Coming Nkrumah saw them at a time.
Exalting the virtues of one man doesn't undermine the other. That's what we have to know.
As some person Michelle say, mini baby I would be free ba.
Oh.
And all this Excellency Mahama Beshim. So what your friend is saying a goodwill dear or Aban Papa by and so Kroma. Nkrofonia no mu nyina ye sweet.
Krobe na okay.
Gane. Christmasy. Ama baby ya de. What am I say? Because Aban Papa ba President Papa ba. President awe papa. Na onya papa nko goodwill. Na na do ba no goodwill.
Na na do nya goodwill.
E wa hene fa.
Na na do 2017.
Was it 2017? E dey goodwill la. Ni goodwill it me we ni humza. Goodwill ben kama me ntie ba umi ana ni goodwill ben te wutumi nya goodwill ma netime yira asem na ba bia da ne yemfanto motima se president papa aba Kwame Nkrumah no ye president papa de bia mo so ya JB Dankwa de be ne no ye JB Dankwa won kan krofo no kwa ka che British for ne say independence at a later time. Kwame Nkrumah say now minua Soko South Africa na be hu say a long time in bondage. Eti Mrs. Nipa. Oba so ye papa kra untimi nya papa. Ye no mo call ye pay dru hom say the black Africans here.
Nkofo so South Africa ba mo say Nkrumah pre ne hododo ma abrofo ne content.
Wana kaza.
Unti sa manfo.
Because omo ni nipa omo call mo ne nam convention center ani kurom. One konom ni before nkasa enko weto ni ade ne hu the psychological trauma they have been through obi obeka se bi onye true African Ghana hanya nkofo tu kwan o mpese o mo ba fi okwa brechi America Canada me metu kwan o
wo de watu kwan
yes ubisa obi obeka akoto ni bi ma fi Ghana o obi timi free Ghana ha say with an illusion say abroche ho ye kama okodi busu mienu pe uhia no wo ho a wo se sister mpese mba fie ti Ghana nye danko beka so obeba fie obi ezesi etimi edro de ye wo
yes
otimase ni ye de no kura to ba bi eto Kwame Nkrumah nye obi ebetimi atoto na se o ti se MPP for no so hu o kan wo mo ho Kwame Nkrumah for no so hu Kwame Nkrumah se wa anya hwekro ma e freedom sa freedom na man na UP for mutimi aye yi amoso di abedi ade ne se mokrasi ne musi be bu Ghana ne se ne musi be ye Ghana ne se mutimi ka se mu ye JB Dankwa asefo a na nya ahomete
for the son of Ghana
o ti ase
not been celebrated
se ne mu
na sa wa wo fakofo
na me offer do mixed breed o
na so no so ye JB Dankwa ase ni
de de no ye JB Dankwa ase
ni Dankwa dombo buzi
o mpacho ono ofri krom ho
na senye kura ofri
me bese wo se me pese me bisa wo se me pese me bisa se wono na busua wen
hwan na okay
me wo fa je kofo me se na busua wen
onye part of Dankwa dombo
menya me se asefo ye dayi na me wo fa obai wono oni obi aye adwuma o JB Dankwa asefo mba omni obi ye adwuma me wo fa obi a ne ye adwuma
but send the party MPP
and your party asem na make am see as from generation to generation thou shall see their worth o ti dem make chire won nti de bi obi a pese ode Kwame Nkrumah etitia Kwame Nkrumah so emfa o de obeye bia you cannot compare the two Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Nothing can change it.
But the two lights can shine at the same time.
Which lights?
You don't need to dim one for the other.
Kwame Nkrumah and Demi will be a light. We are
there. No, they can't. Why is that? Oh, more JB Abaso.
JB Ben.
JB Dankwa Assembly.
No, no. Me Kwame Nkrumah na mnim no.
Unim JB.
Debi won ho JB Dankwa de edu ana.
Dabi ye kan. JB Dankwa political watchers be friend the doyen of Ghanaian politics.
One kind. Watchers no hifa no mugina. The Kwame Nkrumah ye de. Onu ye doyen then the Kwame Nkrumah de de.
Kwame Nkrumah is the first president.
Masa, first president keke. Onu na G independence ma Ghana ogina se bema.
Yeah, but that has not been in doubt.
That is what I'm saying. So how can you say so be a doyen of a when nipa na wo G yi wo ho no wo ho? I mean, obi antimi Kwame Nkrumah, he was a man of the millennium. Ye the man. Mrs. so free Chrome Hannes who took an alcobia, Oka so free Ghana, they mix it up with Ghana and Guyana. The moment I be correct him, Mama catch us a Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. And then a chinny power, you won't me, Mamma may say, so Obi Oshe won't mean cassette near or you be a 2 a say Obi cassette or drop Kwame Nkrumah on PCP away a truffle. It is out one answer of Kwame Nkrumah. Now, Becky can say, we find who send a JB Dankwa and one just as somehow can influence.
Some boy can say Kwame Nkrumah
on the philosophy in the walker.
That Kwame Nkrumah was a good man, but
a good man as some your castle be a no Kwame Nkrumah Jira Brano. Which
someone to me because why you be a not any so at least or ye who be your
ye who again or any. They be amudi JB Dankwa dear no JB Dankwa so dear Ben or ye de no cotum Kwame Nkrumah beti me kukuru JB Dankwa akotum. Mum yesun get den or ye. Says a Kwame Nkrumah nipa bone fo ase obetimi di JB Dankwa akotum. Kwame Nkrumah yare kra na ese epese de ne bagana. O man pini ame amfa na ama.
Ene ye hwan mo no.
Enye o man no more power no UP fo no. Otima say nti o mo mienu no hwan ne ha adwen.
Ene ma ni wu akwantu.
That is the point o yes man twentwen. Aka akwantu o mo ni padua mu asa ewo wuwom. Oti dem e kan. Nti Kwame Nkrumah de ye boni de esi ye boni ye because Ghana ye entreat ni ye. And wono na me nya freedom. Menua se wo tada me ka kire se wo ki kurampo wo yira no na hyede ma wo nim se ni sitie. Can you imagine see anyi independence tank ene? Ye kuroi obi na di yeso. Ye be kon sen. Ye obi akaye kakra bi. Ye kakra bi e betimi ama ye kuroi akonanim. Abrofo kro mo ba ye de o mo ba mission wo ha o mpese o mbeko French woman bi e de ne ba ambassador o so ope be ma aware no atena ha
no obe catch us up
obi wura fi obe kan social media wanti o so onya be ma aware obe naturalize no atena ha
krum ha ne de
na nkrofo ye post nkrofo ba ha ne de o mo kwa na o musu. It won't mean can't say Kwame Nkrumah laid a good foundation for this nation. San webinar His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Warrior. So much Kwame Nkrumah baby. On online when no ano. What you say? Ni papa ne Nkrumah ne nam. Ene.
And the papa a minister and Nkrumah.
Yes, ne papa one papa ne ye adwuma. What you say? We minister and Nkrumah. Me so papa a minister and Nkrumah. Nti no. E kwan na wa bɔ no. Eno no de kɔ. Kwame Nkrumah bebiu twa nnwuma wo ye se ne menim se Ghana betimi aye de sei imre bi unam Nkrumah na aye mhihyew enne Ghana aye de papa obi
na nkofo bu afu
hwanu no mbo hwanu de bubu afu me
so bi o ho
enye ono na ogira ha se wayi His Excellency Mahama o goodwill na goodwill enye ne nsempa ne nam hwana wo goodwill a Ghana for mpenasem obi hwe something is happening. By this time ka traffic okuru.
Yes.
And the traffic no so ati.
This is scanning.
Enye scanning nkofo etimi atukwan akofie. Ya te petrol so. Obi de be na osre.
And nkofo akomukro.
Omukro kofie ne abusuafo ko di bronya. Woman parking one car.
Observation.
Yes.
Very interesting observation.
Obi, I'm telling you. Ya te petrol so na uche enkane ne yɛ petrol so into wo car kra wa park petrol board almost 90 cedis a gallon 100 o park o so dwene ho se me kwa akofa VIP emu odin but na petrol eso ate ti me to bia me di gu mu a me kom go drive ko dia busuafo nkola egu ka achi o yire te front family makwa akodi wetu maame o papa na maba
nti enye sika na eni krom amanfo ntimi meto ade
there be na self na se na traffic okrom around this time so wo come akola nipa and obia in shopping starting tem
this year
the and say na catch o behwe around your friend say 10 11 12 for baby no na ekroma ye din start end of November and ekroma ye boko amanfo ko fie wo ma break wo mu ko fie o ma me businessman o do shop eja o store boys o mu ko fie because o matimi atọ petrol His Excellency Mahama aba o ti ase ahoto aba man yetimi ko fie ne ye maame no kokodi bronya e ba cancer ma si JB dan kwa na kwa me nkroma ase na afefe ene Ghana ye didi ho
in John Mahama
yes
na mo man ni ma ye
ka ma mo ma kama ne Ghana fo ani agi o
ni o man nyina aboa ye fofo
miss hwe adam mo ka chem se dokono 5 cedis den de awuraba no kura ka chem se sister ye san ye bot 3 kra ne 3 na sa
omo bot 3 cedis
yes
e wo laboni
enye laboni se me ka chos laboni de se atwa aha da me ba ha yi si me pese me boni di o se dokono no 5 cedis no o se no doctor atua me nti no wo se me ntombo but dan de me di fili ye
para na ya janto le we ko ne
pase mini wa mba fi mi o mi ti fili dokoro no o ti ase mi wie kwa na mi ti mi nante 5 cedis ma men
de na wo by president or Jubilee House ana what two kwan
say two kwan ko he
no mo ye bibi eno odi djuma bi okay ho no da be
no obey Jamaica for na hu sempinti the point is that His Excellency Mahama is working a humane president, a good president, a nice president. Oti ase yen ne ye adwuma sei u fili se wo ne papa bi na ye adwuma ohunehuna president bi okura untimi nkonanim oti ase we de oduru ba bi kura won chie nipa His Excellency di ohun kura na se wo ba etimi ka Excellency ba gina nche wo don't do that let the person go no abetwam oti ase wo ye president a wo dwini nipa ho wo do nipa wo ye humble
slim say jata gonja ni this
e dia sem na keken si asa abone hene kura wo euro ballad awurade na efe dodo Christ me na me ya de nkam kohwe bi
nka ko Nigeria
because net use for ne tariffs ni internet se ye engagement ni ade anka me ko bi oti ase se hwehwe EU for Ghana for ye bonsem a ye mobi ma His Excellency Mahama ye bompa ya ye mompa ye no won tena so nya adwuma pa hwe se ECOWAS ministers kura ahead of time o ma to aba se ye mpepre ye nye bibia ye pese obedi ye so EU ti ato abon block so on ye pe no wo bi da bi no prayer so mbeko EU ye de ECOWAS na compensate wo mu eno mo fa ne sa we de ne time nsun yo ye say 2027 ye twa what be the class prefect unya nuru classes yes so ya reserve classes class captain ama wo bi da they just a class captain papa bi class captain
so we almost 2027 a rotational into bedroom West Africa so
and oma vote and some na making so ma vote ato oma nkoka se emfa nkoma nipa foforo ya nkoka se emfa ma fori ya nkoka se emfa ma obia ye se en West Africa John Dramani Mahama
slim say
yes emphasis on Dramani meaning so ye sremba or ye sreba dia sam na moken o de Ghana yie ama se Ghana aye kama Ghana for ma anye mistake kura
na ya te ya se papa
wo da se makasa wi
President John Mahama etie wa na ni beje se
mama de se woni to His Excellency die I'm the neko.
Oh, no, no, brutal.
No. Brutal. I'm be afraid me brutal. Oh, boy, say, I do about this.
Yes, sir. Obi, good evening. Please tell Nanaya to stop mocking the Ghanaian people. All she is saying about the prices are the opposite. Ask her, how much is a bus fare from Accra to Kumasi when the fuel was high, and how much is it now? Sadat, it was Sabon Zongo, and no one crying here.
Sadat, we are sure Sabon Zongo now.
Sabon Zongo.
I don't know what dear. I know Jenny Moha.
That will tie the messages.
Okay.
We say, one of the dangerous people in this world are people who surround presidents and are beneficiaries of the national wealth. The most interesting thing is that this president knows them all. Tell Nanaya a word to a wise is.
Oh, there's some okay, Obi.
I will say, as a more mobile or man penny for one can of credit.
Me cannot crepa, some more honest and mechanical. This will be a me an idea, me come at you.
Cannot or catch Reno. Say, who be a queen.
I be a koya, maybe back out, because I make a baby in koya meka. The mimi feel is a sen and my coca dasem. What's the massy?
Was it Okada no I legalize Nanye?
They make us illegal, but it's almost mine, and none of pay me
Okada riders.
Yes, some riders, and they say, maybe will be a betis menism. Now, Miss me pentem. To where one year careful, Pel de abono. How could the Jan show be across a red light? I mean, they need training. If this law is going to work, we have to train and counsel them. Wafa passenger which one share helmets. And this one, it's a police phone should do a lot of work.
Yeah.
What you say?
Yeah.
Now so Obi can be Matthiasim.
Obi, good evening. Is Nanaya living in the same Ghana as all of us? On a question simpler or diaba and no jomo. Pokwase Festus, ne dia or dia breye and no. O was as a Ghana highway and no one be now.
I know been am tina memeti.
Oh, a picture will be painted and that's a higher.
My dear, me no, New York,
as a higher Paris.
A higher see New York. New York, and I'm the back on Ghana. New York, more chrome, she wom. What did they change? But you are broaching, and you are broaching. Mamma example. Na me come and na broche with my broche da mako. Please. The point is that me an kan okreche me en fa politics asem ma me ye asem no da hwane aka.
Very well.
Dia ye na ye.
My mean see Dr. Bernardo Kobo.
Oni hwe ka wo be start asem asi JB dan ko. Ni nya abotre ma hwa me ba wo se ma me na ma ba no.
Doc. What your understanding of?
Na me na baby aso adako engrofo obom ni din o. O se na na ya ni okobo.
Your understanding of bronya anyhow anioma eko. Na ya a diagnose problem no. O say fuel bo aba from the man for to kwan akọ.
Obi, first of all, mistakes are a country like the United States. Trump,
yes,
a winnie. Eba back.
Sure.
Trump is a returning like John Dramani
yes.
Mama. But on one kasano our certain beliefs or jinu wudi woni maybe mu enti ninsa ka about one obey president no. Na dwin ye ni say sa niam na okeka na ama sebi ya ye no president. Say one lose the first time and ansem bebre. But he won because na sebio na nkrofo electricity across through America. Omusi o to Ekosiisen kra price of X across groceries across enti no mumpe Biden and no comfort to Trump buy no Trump Nigerian say sir the osi obechichim crofon ni amana internet to ba no and they say obia onye basabasa kra sebio ono so ba America or worship plates e restaurant na America for onye ndidi omundidi no okwa na wache no e na go to sell ama few elections are Omo holding America no almost obi a Republican bia no chire either say o lose na or conform
and the midterm elections no may prove really difficult for them.
Obi, with all due respect to President John Dramani Mahama enye no awon fenti e na Ghana for be to ababa.
Yes.
Of course, Pacho withdraw that statement.
Withdraw statement.
I did the attempt, so I can say, "You are home offense."
Now, some okay,
what be and can all be woman can say, so catch up and you must say, "You are home offense." Baby,
but started with all due
baby,
respect.
Pacho, oh, be and Casa Sam,
my name,
Sassam and Canche Nipabia. O caso be no. Debbie,
understand, sir. People are not here to say what you want.
Debbie,
Manin can
walk up and you want us and you're not more faint.
Now, wouldn't be your council.
Debbie, no back council to do it. Preamble crying. Debbie, so be there now. Me no catch him saying you're my home faint. I mean, no,
so on common Nancy.
Debbie, but in this one, Cassam. Once a son will apologize, obey me, I cannot say, Naso, and you're not more fainted. I mean, you cocoa.
Presidential staff are manning you. Dr. Bernardo Koboy, you have the floor.
Mr. Timisi, with all
due respect.
And you want due respect to me. Almost start a can of one.
You don't tell him what to say.
Obi Messi and yet. Me asante you catch you be say
let me decide that. Let me decide. Manifa na no nsi me. Doctor asoma.
Adebakwa I'm a real who there was some politician said my sister and I said
yes.
Oh ka JB asem no sebi o kana sem so ya sebi o nyani papo
na wunim no wunim JB
wo de JB de ono ne bodwe
yes
man kasa nwie
me didi na atem
is he
the okay
me didi na atem
ena menim so say o ya Kristo ni Yesu Kristo onim ebia o free cry or treat say o ya nipa ni o ka JB asem o kanu metina odi na metie o
me history from posterity
yeah kai wo cry say just you rubbish them as if
ya me history na me no kasa no
oh so the point I want to make is say na also oye akani so kasa
yes kasa
now see are oye too much many
you be catch me say
they even say in the army say when you see someone saluting a general it's not the height of the general or his complexion
the position the rank
is the lapel this is communication. President Mama is a fine gentleman obi ena osua writing, communication literature. The reason why I prefixed that comment, if you, is because when you make the comment alone, say, and you are one a hash. Yes. But Obika just said, with all due respect to the person, it means that this is someone who is honorable. Yes. But I had to say that so that I know that Obiko Sala no Tumana is because there is some greater need. Expectation. People have expectations. But what I say now, Mahu say. It's a sad observation. A lot of the NDC MPs and functionaries in this government have become intoxicated with the power they won on January 7th, assuming that it is a tool to mock their opponents and to go after them. Now, I feel sad for most of the people who are like that, because by the time the day is over, no one will say, the entire Ghana for Salamon, no one may see the mark. Look at what happened in Parliament. Oh, Nindam is a persona non grata. What is it? What's his name? Daffy Bakpa is my very good friend. Who's there? Where, what's his name? Secretary. What's the name?
Fifi
Abakase. It was a very bad thing. Say they rushed to present a private member's bill when they had neither consulted the party nor the president himself.
Which one are you talking about?
OSPD.
Yes. How can you make such a daring, grave, serious move to undo an office that is supposed to fight corruption without consulting? In fact, they are my good friends, so I'll not even go into the realm of resignation. Anywhere where democracy is being practiced very well, and these people, they will run away. They can't come near the president. I mean, the president is the leader of your party, for Christ's sake. How can you? And it's because, and you see, they present as a private member's bill when you were leaders of the majority caucus. What makes you think you are an independent entity from the party? But you know why I'm saying so? This underlines what I'm saying. Say, some of them have become intoxicated. You see, Obia intoxicated. Adina Afruno. Oh, now to me, General can say in Parliament, and the this guy, his office was set up here. We want to teach him. If he goes there, then we won't do it. Using emotions to undo structures instead of reason. Say about conflict, you are colliding directly with your president and your party. But Obi, the point I want to make is that intoxication here is so strong, say, even ordinary things which should come to them, they can't see it. They asked the gentleman not to step in parliament, Nindam. And Omuka say, and the clerk, I also feel sorry for him. Jetro is my senior brother. Wrote a letter that the EC should go ahead and do the elections when you know that they've gone to the next level of the court and it's even at the Supreme Court. Now only the Parliament. And Parliament is a master of its own rules. For how long would we debate this simple thing? Me and Marco Law School 1 year, I've been taught clearly that the three arms of government, it is only one of them that is the hinge. When it speaks, that is final. How come those who finished law 20 years ago, because of intoxication with power, can't see this? They can't say, oh, we are a master of rules. Why wouldn't they go ahead and hold the election the day they set? The Supreme Court said suspend. Have we not suspended?
We have.
Why are we debating this? If today President Dramani Mahama says that all of us should sleep based on an emergency law, and somebody goes to the Supreme Court and the court says that that law or directive is illegal, straight away
it is illegal.
It is illegal. So why are we still arguing? It's because I feel sad. People are using the power instead of to do good things to be going after their opponents. Now, Obi, let me tell you about just three things are gonna afford to about President Dramani Mahama. Number one is lack of opportunities for the youth. The biggest the chunk, 60% of our voters are in their youth, between 18 to about 49. Although youth is 40, to show that these are people who have energy, who have the willingness to work, but they don't have, either they are underemployed, or are being underpaid cheaply or whatever. This is the biggest chunk of the voters. They have serious expectations. And to aba ma NDC, it's not because of NDC MPB na nyansa warning sebi send me kind. It's not something extraordinary you did, but they who voted for you have expectations. Instead of working, burning the midnight candle to look at which strategy you put in place, how to roll a particular sector into motion. That's why the last time when I came here, I said one of the things I applauded in the budget was the gold board and the palm oil. Yeah. Because it is a whole cycle and chain where you put in money, get scientists to look at particular crop, look at plantation, find land banks, the market. It is a chain that will give opportunity. These are the things that will make you stay in power. Papa Oba, you told the ladies that you have a women's bank. Obi, someone said, you are going to a year. You have 2 more years and then you are an election year. How many weeks? CBG. When they consolidated the other banks to CBG, how long did it take to form CBG? Within weeks. Now your high office is not a year, Juma. You can't also say, work on your campaign, I catch a bar, say a BM bar bank, Juma. You've gone over almost 1 year. No woman knows where to go and get the money. And yet you are going after people. And when they say, you go like, I have all the power. Look at Protozoa, Suhum. Congratulations, Nyamin Kaun. Nyami, and you see, when you don't, forgive me, if sometimes, now Moody look on name.
Election petition against him Okofredia High Court.
Oh, Charlie seat, Cranamo Semupe. And this is a pay. And then a judge can say, Chese, the man, you know, no wasting comfort, and I charge him 200,000 Ghana cedis to pay. Obi. But I was not surprised that Sum Koyesa, yet Dr. Baumia consider everywhere, I'm free say now. That's what happened in this country. But Ghana but you see what my way mono to trust me gidi. Electoral Commission cried me breaking over blades a boom for police movie. The point I want to make is that overwhelming number of Ghanaians gave mandate to this government not to come and show people where power lies, but to show them what power can be used for to advance the lives of people, Obi. And there is a big opportunity for them to go and work after things for lives are improving. Now, Usha, and then I press conference. We are obsessed and consumed with going after people, jailing people. I can't say wrong. But what you time I have spent in this 1 year, and then me and my senior brother AG, and I press conference, and they do boy idea, and Obi. ye the way court Jakpa court esiama BOG governor you Ghana for be nim no anka ye twen no chief on say they be ana ye press conference on yama anka by now no so be an say where na friend esiama nobody knows, but this man was in court for millions of dollars or cedis ye charging no our cost losses when he was deputy governor, this esiama man. But nobody knew why, because we were focused on the state running, how to improve education, how to improve agriculture, how to help with industry, whilst the prosecutors were also doing their job. By then, they didn't say, hey, say no, ya chiway, ya did not to way, and no court, and they want to be, say, oh, share social media, want to be in court, and then I see on freezing account. Just all minor court is going after people. If you get obsessed with going after your adversaries, you can't even help your neighbors. Into be messy, and then you see, kind of finally you try to the US people. What is said in Amtamakulu? You need the whole country spirit to come together to rally around the flag so that we can fight corruption. Fighting corruption can help to retrieve funds, can help to protect our funds. Corruption can help for us to develop because we make savings. Remember, corruption also, Obi, can help to, in fact, the tools for fighting corruption can be used to fight political opponents, to do political fights. Now, if you are an attorney general, now a case involving central bank, millions of dollars can come to the state. Osi, my issue only prosecute, I'm not interested. The next day, Nipa na wajai no, you're governor, Bank of Ghana. Now the same day, no, Osi wachi, another person, or no, shave the cabinet and not be of Oforata or no person onjelino. How can the country spirit rally around the flag when you are letting go of some? A CMS case, not judges are caught through Amayap, they've crossed the stage of there's a case to answer. Is that not it?
Yeah. And he had to open his defense.
Obi. Opening your defense means that there's prima facie. Is that not it?
The prosecution has established prima facie, yes.
If we are confident in the judiciary, why didn't we allow you to proceed? Initiate the process. Did we have anything to lose? We could have let him go until he's acquitted. Is that not it? But if he had been convicted, we could have gotten some money back. Uja no ochna ya no governor wa abaimu. If you want all of us to rally around you, how can we rally around you with such a behavior? And no the only prosecutor. With all due respect to Ayini, as we speak, before the monies he paid, our can says amounts to 3-4 billion. Have you seen documents to that effect? Obi, you are a journalist.
No.
Oh, now with Christ, Nyamia Dom Yakosku Ekra. If you just come and tell us, Obi, the car in billions and carry no court, the entire woman on court, say, show us the evidence. Where are the properties that are equivalent to that? Oko yoko say na sebi o, omuso mama 100,000 bekra. Omupe, they want to surveyor to yes, Obi. And the point I mean say it's good to fight corruption. It's okay to try and prosecute people, but let those who prosecute do their prosecution. Once to focus on the bigger things also. And I can say the name Tamakul. Or no, the Nenya Fena started open defense.
She's been convicted and sentenced.
This is who kind of judgment of said Tamakul. What the judge wrote. How those who were given opportunity to serve us. The Omo ye no to say the Ghana no ye nieja enema. It's in the judgment oh. 1 year.
Okasache pa mani we also benya the same time. By the introductory remana kakrebi. Doc,
agenda setting.
Mema at the same time. Oi.
Unim time abo.
Don't worry. Me na me tiedwem.
Agenda setting.
Nana ya me breaking the flow man.
Only flow bia wo ye. We
oba kama oni akoma si da.
That about 7 in the window, Mujana.
Where or do I broso, Emma J. and Emma Zay? I don't broso. I was on J. Mokrada. Or no, the corner pepper.
There is some Shana with this moon in a Casa Ross. And they are Mimpino.
Yes.
John Dramani Mama is a fine man. Nobody, there's nothing to gain in going after his person. It's just about the output,
yes,
the governance. He's a fine man. Now me, I've said it all the time. Obia ni we see the achievements. Esuche mi papa no. I'm careful to speak about them in a bad manner. My father was a typist.
stenographer.
A stenographer. Obia Sebi, with all due respect, what called the name achieving one call university. I'm careful because I know that it takes a lot to achieve some things. Former president, now president, no. It's only about the issues. I'm in politics to see how to challenge my colleagues so that we can make the world a better place for others. Asa. So when I'm speaking here, when I said I could have said all I want is that it's not about a personal thing. People are voting for you because they have expectations of you. Now, if you deliver, they are happy with you. If you don't, they are not happy. And you see, we must learn from not far history, but just recent. When Ghanaians voted against JM in 2016, if they hated him, would they have brought him to yes. So it was never about his person. It was about the expectations of the time. It was about the disappointments of the time. It was about what people wished. So it's the same today. Now, people should learn from that. That when they deny someone of presidency, it doesn't mean the fellow is hated. It only means that the times and the expectations is not in your favor. Until we met today, there are many opportunities that this government have. Look, I was just chatting with a friend. May mate be Dr. B. And I'm going to say, the $1.2 billion that this government wants us to invest in the next 3-4 years to get 6 aircrafts, machines. If, and I'm not saying president is not driven by compassion for people, but if those around the table, there are more voices like mine, I can challenge and tell the president, say, President, let's use this 1.2 billion to set up an aviation, Ghana Air or Ghana Airways, where we own 45% shareholding. I don't want us to be the majority. Majority shareholding is what makes state-owned companies fail.
Yeah.
Let's get a partner who will bring in 55, so that it will carry the nation's flag, but will not misbehave by
its its management.
Exactly. And then Obi, the chain of jobs that will create in Ghana for our youth, for those in catering, and at the same time, our VIPs who have to travel, including president, can fly on these aircraft where there is an invoice written for every VIP minister who flies, and then instead of they paying us dividend during the year, at the end of the year, if a $1 million or something, if your tickets,
the offset is
this is the bigger thinking and challenge that we have to engage ourselves in. The point I'm making is that your resources are limited. What can you do to address the biggest question now in Ghana? Youth unemployment. That's number one. The next big challenge, you have a lot of our women looking for just some few funds so that they can set up their businesses or they can strengthen their businesses. The question is that, would you consider putting 2.5 billion into the women's bank? And remember, 2.5 billion can do both the seed capital, money for distribution, and offices. Would you put 2.5 billion into setting the women's bank to be functional now, or you use it as the initial payment for purchase of 6 aircrafts? 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. It's in the budget.
You said dollars.
No. All. So let me explain. Obi, in the budget for 2026, the initial payment we are doing for retooling the Air Force is 2.5 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Then in 2027, we will pay the next amount, which is 3.5 billion Ghana cedis. 2028, about 3.6. By 2029, we would have paid about 13 billion, which is equivalent to $1.2
billion. Yes.
So
it's not now. It's
over 4 years.
Staggered.
Over 4 years. Yes. But my point is that the 2.5 billion, which you are allocating for the initial payment, can unravel and immediately set up the chain for the women. The question is that versus the routine. Which one do we go for? Uba Nawaye. So all I'm saying is that those in power today should remember that Ghanaians voted for them so that they will have the comfort and the peace of mind in parliament, not the 137 have. That comfort is to enable them to quickly push things that will create opportunities and make people's lives better. They should not be mistaken to use it to go and to show their enemies or adversaries where power lies. That will not make you sustain the goodwill that you have.
Very well. Nana Bremwe.
Yes. You see, we have institutions that deal with corruption.
Yes.
They deal with suspected corrupt activities. So if for any reason some investigation and I who say BBC what is wrong? Say the institutions will what? investigate it. That does not mean so be the power HSUB. But you see, you were sitting on your Eiffel Tower in 2017. You were sitting on your ivory tower, so you don't even know what went on. People were just taken to BNI Yoko. Obu Okwampa be BNI home. So to the mecheno. So this one, Yashusha Niemem, and I who say, ABS so be answer questions. And not just will be town will be a new. But me pacho. His Excellency Mahama being who he is making institutions work. Have you ever seen him interfere in any investigations? He has allowed the institutions to work, whilst he's also concentrating on what he has to do. Ebema Ghana for what home. Yeah, near baby interventions. Women's Bank. Vice President. Otimase. Enchebia. Because Bibia be Biansha Mona Moya dear na more rashi. One district, one factor agenda, one gidi na nye juma. Otima say, yen dear pesi a ye jumano. Send ye be sustainable na outlive His Excellency Mahama. Ebeye a policy, ebeye an interventioner, ebe boagana for mane Ghana for. So we yiri to me ya eboa wi akohoma. Efie ejo. Oti de michi inti no mo okobo entra hanka se asif se ye nye hwe asif se adwuma bia nko so hwe opobo e ka se arrogance or power ya de mo a e advice or dey man but the fact is say da fia mepo e de sa private members bill no call oni ye fan leader e no nkire se o ma ye boni impacho gay bill no hanom na de call ye.
And so MPs.
And what is wrong? Said that I am a possibility me be on OSP. Incophobin through petition against OSP. Yankee can't send baby.
But your can the position on that same bill. And on the chest where then consultation control be a
patron the chest your government independence or our government will be and she will be so.
Okay.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Shokrase or no the penny moon in the position where Otimi Kachira or Musa Misramo Munyai. A bill na mo de akọ na yenka ho asem wan kase wo tia wo mo osemo di we akọ ade amaye no monto mo bo asema panyimu aka no ba mpese me who say private members bill on sa gay bill enye ayi na de koye ye fe ne say sofi
it's a first one they know me 8 that's some George but recent one we did
they make cut those days
I know yes
they're private members yes, so what is the difference and then the fear me pon MP bio
or MP
did you bent no won timi mfa we nkoso feel say or anye na capacity as chief whip and no na beka say arrogance of power or ye na capacity as a private individual. And as also understand this, see a cast separation of powers. The legislature, the executive, and your friend is saying the judiciary, they are separate. They are supposed to be separate. And nothing I mean, say I have an issue with MPs being ministers. That is one thing I made me feel. I made me personally say MPs being ministers because in that case, no separation of powers, no, and you're very clear.
Line is not a blade.
Line not a blade, kakra. It is a work as the fear me put the BBA in the right as the legislature private because a work parliament and your president choose one leaders ma one man the town on my twaba no me even the speaker now obedi almost our year the third in this country no otima say wobo twaba and omudi or the second no omo twaba no omudi yi no the executive the legislature the judiciary. There's nothing wrong with said that fear mepo feel say office of the special. That is why he didn't go in his capacity as a member of the party, as your friend is saying, a chief whip as a private member, which is allowed. Say Okoka be about Trump and no name the echoes of America. America form pearl bar say. Yankee real. Oba black woman I didn't call here under the Democratic Party no was not attractive. Biden Obie who said our health issues. Ultimately, you cannot also tell me say dear Trump ye be no wompe. Trump is a very humane human being. And I believe it as a businessman who were using crofwa ye juma mana womunya America for. But Obi ruling country there were other people so omo influence. e dey na che se de wo ye na ebi no mpe e dey na che se obi ani nyi ho. I mean, typically, me de pia me ka say I don't see why people should fret when Trump says me mami kurom. Because obi a woni kurom mo. And ye wa resources. E chen wo mo mpo. Why don't we do a kurom no Africa? Yenye ni ye ni entna ha. Because almost say omo background mo person mo beko. Ghana say ntontom na pam wo mo. Oko South Africa, in spite of everything, they are still there. Oti dia miche, inti Okoboy cannot compare Trump to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And as I said, baby, asem dano, to. Yes, there are expectations, but His Excellency Mahama is doing everything possible. Shankamumu ye bibi papa maya. And Nankamu create enough and adequate jobs. And then you say government is the continuum. Directive principles of state policy. Otimasi, obi ba bibi o hobia na say yesu ye den ye de to aso. Anka mu ye adwuma na mu dure certain foundation. And anka Excellency Mahama ba be to aso anka nye ne si ye bri. Adwuma say na mu create ye adwuma nya na ye nakop madan ni hu border. E friend say nakop. Napco. Eno nko an na mu si mo kan jobs a mo se ye no. But Excellency Mahama wants consistency or sustainability. Instead of 24-hour economy, ya dem mra etachiri. Framework ni nyina ye ready. By next year, no be hu niema be start akoso. Because they say na fefe.
Oh, 24-hour economy.
24-hour economy be so. Women's Bank be so. Adwuma wura ayi nkokon keten me say my leading grofo bebra mo makome kura mi koye bi. First no mo se me anya bibia. But say wa makwan. Farmers Day no was na appointees nyina nko into agriculture. Yes, there was you be enko o na okoso opebia obenya bi. Yes, enko into agriculture. Former minister they also anu ayo hu goro boy bi sa obi hu former minister. Obi hu bia wujira. Your friend is former minister ayo hu goro boy on nam ho. What you say? Agric ni nyina be komu bi. Me say me.
Maybe say na.
There be cost me no bibia na mani nyi ho former
obi akoko no kwa nyi ye o akoko small one na we nya
okuta credentials pa so anu aye no style bi minim say position na wo penu nti o se die yin no ke cancel bi o ho sa nti no okwasem a wo kan mu nka mu ye ni ye a anka o build good foundation na nko bi so ababa beto aso enye sa wo ba ye die na aye o eda form tra niema mo kan nyina Ghana without aid otima se so ni agina ba bi je bosia why na call IMF me I never thought to say MPP be call IMF with all the confidence that Daniel had in Nanado. I never thought ye kan mo se me enka mo se 2016 His Excellency Mahama Elusi gumbe a mo de born wo krom ha obi nsem aka MPP for kan fa papa yi ho propaganda kase me se dan me shi obi na me ni di nkomo ke kanse bi na me se mu enyampa wo se ma ye de agidi o ene ne ehu se enyampa o ti da me che o mu bonu hu gumbe na na de bonu se gumbe ni bi anko be survive and this gumbe ana mo bon e personal it's not even about najuma personal ke kanse hu fa ne ho okay me sem ni bo ha me hwedi anam ti mu se enyampa but I didn't want to wade into it. Instead be one nyampa omo kan ya the personality everything mo ye near tan mo the year no 2016 just because mo per power and mo kwa mo ba ye kwa me menti ase Excellency Mahama wo krokro mo pa wonye mo basa kro ntoto mase wonde mo ye kama oti ase ye ko na kunadu aye se me makọ ayi obi makwa yi His Excellency Mahama baby are not tekra na ya reho iti men say I'm telling you me ndwamenum former president no onka so ba no abetina hodin ye ko na kunadu aye mu ni nyina mo mpanyimfo ni nyane na 2 days so
na iti men say na on 2 days ne so bi
baby e de na kohye me sembo me pese meka we na do tene nchen other government officials here raising days na omote so wow the former government officials otima say ayi kura me kotena na nchen kura wo pia me acting chairman
of the
ayi MPP
ayi chairman Buti
opia me gina ho wusi o
ene ye hwan ayi
adana akona do ayi no
opia wo
madam catch yes when me kura anka say excuse me opia me ko ye tia me na so that na me pese me kasa because na mra ho na me nua wu nti me ra ho am pese me kasa kamisu me pia ni bi because me dey me fancy bi nche me your ba me your ba was so utimi respect me
e kwa de we hu
woni me hwan na ni me okrom ho wa hu me ene ohia space
opia na ya ajanto
me nam ka kire wo
e na chairman bute so de
aha inti no nam se dia be na atu proposal
say NDC candidate no also home no a challenge elections no through an election petition or high court
so
and the court na bo atu
okay say na tie no nti dia me make person chen say asama okeka no obi anya deli ohwe one that what deliberate attempt say o de obi court ensema also kan esi akwa yi nkrofo bi asema free court 8 years do obi gina court on convict no
na no hwan na enya
ifie woche
na say je court na wo say
asema na make kan nti say asem bi wo kwa ifie woche wo de akwa gina court 2017 to 2024 wan fa na wan kana asem nti nkade na evidence na wo ho sanka wa boni tew na ekọ
say who your prosecutioner what you do is say you establish your case against the
I am saying say 8 years who to be establish case.
Hold on. Who we are? The court will then come in and tell the accused to open his or her
OBA 2017.
At that point as accused then so has some right to ventilate.
Monsieur
obetime the applications time
asem person bisa on say oh about 2017 and 2024 go this and 7 ga pass we own sense you ma hono 2017 ya do omo court besi na asem bi wo ho anko ma hu asem wo ho asanko mo hu ye
yen kanesa na
ye kanesa obi da bi ya na wo pese mo bo aye na so bo se na wakoyi case and wakoyi sei asem wo onye aye na onye lawyer ni aye na ye lawyer ni kese pa
senior lawyer
asem na okay
years at the bar
yes only Auntie Marietta na ye adwuma Marietta Brew one of the brilliant female lawyers ayewo two person wo kire me say asem na enye no still a wombeka se yenyam enye anka wombeka se yenyam da bia ma mo nka bibisa mo kasa na chese mu didi ni patam because e chese nipa na ote ho no nim de oye obi unim se na law sitie.
But President Mama Nkasa can say one of the reasons why he was not in support of scrapping OSP he say an AG
OSP asem
na President Mama say an attorney general is usually appointed by a political leader and is usually part of the government.
Yes.
And so he's normally disabled until me and prosecuting your own.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons why the OSP was formed. This is President Mama giving background. Okay. So you should know that despite brilliance notwithstanding, some of these decisions are political and sometimes might be taken even above him.
Me say and two person above him pay sense Muhammad onu na onu wa contradict onu kuro ya say ayen here OSP support
above him
na just enti aye hwan
the party
a cabinet here President Mahama one chair cabinet
on the chair
into cabinet for betimi
at take autocratic decision.
But that is what I'm saying because above him cabinet is a lateral relationship. So say President Mahama no be mu na be yesoro.
Yes.
This because above him and so you are also contradicting what was ma wo kan.
Say start charging NDC be. Na ye me to Adabaka na say dun ketian na executive say we enjana. Obri say every mo aba wan say kaso.
Be am kon sa ma mo fa general ma we.
Yoko ade no un say obi a throw for update on Yoko.
Yeah, on ayeni referral of national organizer na vice chair.
Na Ekosiisen.
Say the national organizer Abangane Ekoma Yoko say Yoko
investigate omo dey
na age member update on where
I just obey obema update I don't know more update I don't me lawyer ni me line wo be foforo okay wo frame me
energy control
I can say public utilities ni energy am mouth say here
enti
asema
no I was critical
asema person me kira wo ni say say asem wo court ne say ehun nsunsanso wo ho na ehun ewo fapema
yes
age be ye ho adwuma
okay
asem OSP asem a ye ken then you agree or has say yentimi and dichotomize the person, the SP from the OSP.
Okay.
I'm saying what is excellency Mahama a free bar. Say a bit me a dichotomize, ye bit me at OSP no, a free SP no.
Okay.
Because SP no then some echo caution ya din maybe uncle for Philly say, won't mean your neduma. And I miss me can say, won't mean your neduma ya, and your non first one also had issues. Second one, anya issue. So we need to look at that office critically. Again. Because won't mean family me no our worry warm. Oh, worry warm, I won't be a new into one problem.
Wow.
That is the point. So let's look at it. What systemic issue now? What? Emma OSP for intimate performing. That is all. These are two brilliant lawyers. It's not as if some way for two brilliant lawyers. Into dear Ben Emma more perform, and we need to look at it. But me near yinya poi dase dafia mepo dear dafia mepo is a very humble, nice person. But in his legal mind, very brilliant person. Leader, madam for yes, leader has been my friend. Leader, madam for over 30 years. Yes, and I know him. He's straight, and there should be a reason. It's the same thing. Oh, my me must. I didn't be a person who thought to me no.
Look, Ayariga, Dafeko, they are all fantastic guys. But there are times you make some blunders. You admit and move on. How can you take serious decisions like this without reference to your boss?
Who is his? His boss is the speaker.
He sits in parliament.
He sits in cabinet.
It does not matter.
Majority leader. Leader of government business.
Mami, this was where the cabinet members ne kasa unt now.
Na I won't say cabinet na manen.
Correct. Obi.
And then mami kasa.
Cabinet.
Asama by fa cabinet manen kasa.
Asama no the call cabinet.
Manema information. Information you are not privy to.
Me person me
cabinet a big deal. Now president I invite you to better cabinet.
Me person me kasa.
Na makoho. Obi, ye call cabinet. You see, you call cabinet. Omo nkoye no ntie. Obi, omo nja ntokwa.
E dey chese obi mi
nko. Na
me kwa be dey wo. Ba be ka chi.
We nje obi a o twem achia o. Mi ka ya tina.
Na wuti Ekosi hene.
Me bodi. Obi, cabinet after ministers no omo briefings ya go through no. Usually the last item before we leave. Happenings from parliament.
Okay.
And this is presented by the majority leader. So the majority is an integral part. And you know why?
Asema me pacho. Cabinet asem ne ka. Nipa ne ya de no ye on the floor of the house. Ultimately, you see, you are mixing things. Oh, mami,
a bill to repeal OSP Act. Such a monumental.
Pacho mamucho petition no way. And so monumental. Say OSP.
It is monumental.
That is the point. So I'm saying, sir, on the parliamentary business, is different from more government business.
Okay.
On you leader maintains will be a friend leader in government business.
You're a leader of government business.
Leader of but I am saying so or parliament. It's that's how did the president know? Because maybe he went to cabinet to go and report on the matter. Do you get me?
Yes.
And then maybe president the car said Bacho Wedi and Kabato Bokakra Mamia and Kamepe. Are you telling me says or cabinet in Tino the independence of the legislature is compromised?
No.
Yes, you need to pick the balance very well because that is why he was able to do that. The independence of the legislature is not compromised. Or cabinet, but the independence of the legislature is, and you are not. I don't think, sir, when briefing the caucus. By all means, there was some kind of consultation within parliament, and there are things that are parliamentary. There are things that are government. And you need to really break that dichotomy.
Very well. Very well. One kasana in principle, pay OSP office. No?
Who's that?
In principle.
There be the iron mentias. There be on say. First one they buy no problem. Second one also buy no problem. Share a year friends a can for your tide the eye. Not one hene.
Then the press briefing AGA went to
let me mention
AG say formally. yeah, the extradition request.
And the first net on mood that die. No OSP that die. I so this is what the corner
extradition cannot be done by the OSP. The central body is the Attorney General's department. The AG and the bit may initiate extradition. No other person can. It is
because
AG.
Me never be a question. Be say America for penny pay free. Quickly near the call.
Something we are.
America Ghana for be say American embassy almost say it takes time.
Because again, now the US judicial system would have to decide. But that will be done through Bewaken and so are right. And he may have lawyers to fight the extradition.
Oh, they have British lawyers. Hey, you say Oscar. A British lawyer they say $1 million each.
So our businesses.
A business is buying. You know they okay.
Our businesses and also try to fight the extradition.
Oh, put himself beside me question. That's my last year maker.
Yeah.
Last week, who beside me say me before His Excellency John Mahama third term.
Yes, the third term.
Me no assume say wo kan ho ase. Media me madwene, you be adwene say this is not a constitutional matter.
And what is it?
Because you see, yes, a constitutional matter, na so sesa constitution na mana you be at third term.
Yes.
So this is na we kono ekunya kakai bia na otie so 3 times 12 years. When yenye ni papa. People have said it, but for us, it is not a priority. But me imagine say when you want to do this is a referendum.
Yes.
If it is coming,
even a referendum is still a constitutional matter.
No, but you will not change the constitution.
Obviously.
Due to me, it is a referendum
to take a decision
whether. Then the Supreme Court would then come in.
There are two routes. I mean, there is the
interpretation
referendum route and the interpretation bit.
Yes, that's so. Be
from Kasa people want to use the interpretation bit.
So that's so we break here as
saying.
Then there's also the referendum bit.
Absolutely.
But for now, nobody media. I don't think he on Kasa say yeah. But when the pressure comes, we don't know. But for me. What we are thinking about is what will make the life of the Ghanaian better
in the next
3 years. And that is the most important thing to change the trajectory of events. This country has been battered so badly for the past 8 years, and we need to make it stand.
Martin and I am Dr. Bernardo Koboy. Medase. Monsono enyabo. Said okay, betimi asori upon, right?
Obi na say yes sister na ya ka say na Christmas on my hwe but say obia ani agi wa ka say by the end mama mfa ni je nchiate fo nyina na me nda production team ni sas early jubilee house for
Jubilee house presidential staffers ni nyina